Hi, guys. It is currently Friday the 13th of March. In 2 days will be my birthday. By the way, people that I made a post last week about, getting my first septum piercing and everything, and I mentioned it was an early birthday present. And a lot of people were wishing me happy birthday, and thank you. It was a week early, but I appreciate, I appreciate the love early. That was really cool. But yeah, man. Um, things have been things have been cool so far. Interesting so far. You know, I'm an older man than I was. Um, yeah, spending a few days off with both my partners, and catching up on some stuff, and catching up on some sleep. That'd be nice. Um, yeah. So yeah, it's been nice for once. I mean, usually this time of year, especially over the past, I say past 5 years, around about my birthday, I kind of have like a little bit of a meltdown, sort of existential crisis, because well, I'm in my 50s now, and it's like it feels like it came on very suddenly. It's like 1 minute, I'm this 18-year-old, well, excuse me, 19-year-old. Uh, oh yeah, I guess maybe was it 18 or 19? But anyway, getting off the bus in Los Angeles back in '91. Next thing I know, it's 2026. I'm living in Indianapolis, and I am in my 50s. So it's still a weird thing for me, and I'm admittedly, I'm still having some issues with it. It's something. I mean, I think I'm starting to accept it a little bit more, but it's still, yeah. But I mean, to be fair, I really haven't had much of that this year. I mean, besides some positive things happening, in our lives, some positive things, but mostly, because I am so distracted by all the bullshit in the world going on right now. You know, the world is falling apart, and that is definitely one hell of a distraction from everything. You know, fuck, god damn. I mean, let's be real. Things haven't been great in a while. Actually, they've never been. But we had moments we were starting to get. It seemed like we were starting to get somewhere. Like society itself was starting to progress a little bit. Not as much as it should have already done long ago, but there was some hope. There was some positive moments. We were allowed to have certain joys. It seems like anyway. And then hmm, these last couple, I'll say last couple of years, because the whole campaign, probably that last year before the dipshits got in office, the whole campaign thing was just really bringing out the worst in a lot of people that was, already there. But yeah, you know how that goes. And then they got in office. It's like people didn't learn from the first time that this idiot was in office. The whole thing is the fact that we're here right now is kind of, on one hand, it's kind of surprising. On the other hand, it's not, because people are terrible. Now we have so much like government sanction, like, anti-trans rhetoric, anti-black and brown rhetoric, anti-women rhetoric, just like there's just so much, everything these people ran on saying, oh, well, the other side's going to do this if you don't vote for us, blah, blah, blah. Day one, immediately, they started doing the exact thing that they were saying they were going to prevent. These people have gaslit their cult, and they really try to gaslight the entire world. It's like a lot of us are sitting here going, what the fuck? Been seeing this shit. Fuck. Originally from Atlantic City. I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey. I grew up on a boardwalk back in the 80s and everything. I used to see Donald Trump coming back and forth to his fucking shitty casinos all the time when he turned Steel Pier into his own personal heliport instead of actually rebuilding, which caused a lot of problems then. And then he had all his overinflated ego monuments known as fucking his shitty casinos that failed. I think there's still remnants of them still up that they can't, because they're so fucking huge, like fucking Taj Mahal. That fucking, I remember when they built that ugly piece of shit. My fucking God. And then not long after I left, it was done. This guy was so fucking bad with businesses, and he ripped so many people off that were building his casinos or doing maintenance or whatever. And you can find so many people, so many stories. I knew people that used to tell me stories about this shit. Like there was like a guy that used to come in a store I worked at, and we were talking a lot. And he was one of the people that installed all the TVs and stuff inside Taj Mahal and everything. And it was like a big contract, and Trump never paid him for it, much like many other contractors. And it was wild. Like 10 years ago, when I first heard that Trump, that guy, was running for president, and it's like, and a lot of people just thought, oh, this fucking guy ain't gonna fucking win. How? Because it's like most of us knew he was a piece of shit. Most of us knew he was a fucking moron, Terrible businessman, terrible person. Most of us knew this. But something happened. I don't understand. I mean, once again, I do understand and I don't. Basically, it's a matter of somebody telling you what you want to hear, and they do it with charisma, and I will give the piece of shit this. I mean, he's been charismatic, not in, a great way or anything. It's not like he made me go, well, maybe. No. Absolutely not. I think most people with some common sense, he didn't get through like that. But there was a lot of people they wanted to believe they wanted to blame their problems on people of color and queer and trans people and everything. And you're the guy who was validating that, and they like that. And they go, you know what? This guy speaks for me. It wasn't about him speaking for them as like, working class people or anything. How could some guy that was rich, who owned, lost property and businesses, who never earned the money, he was just got it. He was born into it because of his family. He was just awful business person, just awful at everything. And they believed this guy, had any connection to the working class. I mean, my God, has anybody seen any of his fucking real estate buildings he's designed or been part of, rather? You can't tell me a guy like that would actually give a shit about fucking the working class and poor people. The only thing he cares about the working class is what they can do for him. And actually, clearly, he hates poor people as well. But somehow people fell for that grift. It was literally, you ever like watch like old vaudeville things or like old cartoons and stuff from like the 40s and the 50s, or like, Bugs Bunny cartoons, even like the stereotype of the big city slicker getting one over on, the country bumpkin thing, that sort of thing, the fast talking grifter, just like one of the guys like, grits him out to cash all that blah 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 sort of thing. This guy is literally that cartoon. And people are still falling for it. I mean, granted, you have a lot of people like, finally leaving the whole MAGA cult finally. The wild thing to me is they're not leaving it because, moral reasons. They're not leaving because, yeah, I can't fucking support this shit. Oh my God, I made a mistake. Or what were they doing? I can't, this guy was at Harwell, was like, he's all over the Epstein files. There's proof of him doing fucking horrible shit to humans, It's just, he's been destroying countries. He's there's so much. No. That's not the deciding factor. The deciding factor is affecting them now. Donald Trump, you said you were going to bring down my eggs, and you didn't. I don't like you no more. And it's like, they're like, wait a minute. When you were making all these rules, I thought that was for other people, not me. Especially for like, MAGA cult members of color. It's like they thought, hey, my God, you had Latinos for Trump. You had queer and trans people for Trump. And then in the end, all of a sudden, it found out with all their pick me bullshit, they weren't picked. You still got some people still riding that train though. I don't get it, but mostly it's just like you see like these white MAGAs. They're like, I'm sorry, blah blah, and it's like, you're not sorry. You're only upset because now you realize all this time what we were trying to tell you was correct, and you're just now realizing that all that shit affects you as well. And also, like, the influx of these people now, they're getting upset also because people aren't accepting them back with open arms. I'm like, really? You're shocked? You knew what you were voting for and voted for anyway, but you're now leaving because now you realize, oh, it affects me too. Not just fucking brown people and other people I find undesirable, you know? But you expect us all to welcome back with open arms. Like, oh, okay, it's fine. Hug you and, roll credits. Everyone's happily ever after. No, sweetie, that's not how that works. No, that is absolutely not how that works. People were just being disappeared on the streets, just because they were brown. They were like, oh, we're gonna deport all the criminals. And hey, ma'am, can you leave my microphone, please? Thank you. And there was no criminals deported. The criminals are in office. They were deporting families, their children, man. Well, actually, considering the things that are in the Epstein files, the things happening with children, it isn't a surprise. It just makes it makes more sense, and it's even more disgusting. And yeah, I'm not going to get into details about like Epstein file stuff. We're not going to do that because already having a time enough as it is. We don't need to discuss that. But you know what? If people are leaving MAGA, good, fine. You're finally realizing it. Fine, even if it took something affecting you to realize. You're backing out. Fine, whatever. Don't expect me to be your friend. And again, God, I had so many people like between 2016 and then recently in the past year that I had to fucking give the boot because they were on that fucking Trump shit. God, I swear, if any of those people came back, I'm like, fuck you. You didn't give a shit about me and others then, so why would you now? But you know what? Look, I'll say this. If you're actually trying to do better, if you're actually trying to deprogram yourself from the years of being gaslit and you want to make a difference, fine. Good for you. Just do it to do it. Don't do it to expect accolades, we'll say. The world is falling apart. We're in a war started by a guy who claimed he ended 8 wars, which I think it's funny. He claims he ended all these wars that he did not. In fact, since he's been in office, I think there's been more wars happening. Just everybody just started beefing as soon as he got in office. He doesn't end shit. He's caused more shit. And these people continue to let themselves be gaslit. Like, oh, he's doing great. The economy's doing great. Everything is great. No, it's not. Just because you keep telling yourself something doesn't make it a truth. Just kind of open your eyes, look around you. Just like these people just want to continue to think black and brown people are the problem in why the country's falling, or it's the way it is, and they want to blame queer people and they want to blame trans people. Also, I love how the fact that, for years they kept saying, queer and trans people are indoctrinating children and abusing children and blah, blah, blah. And immigrants are sex trafficking children. When in the end, no, it was just billionaires and politicians that were doing that. Isn't that interesting? Every accusation, yeah. Oh, sorry about the noise in the background. It is very windy out here in Indianapolis right now. I don't know. I think we get and apparently, neighbors decided doing some mechanic work. So yeah, shit's insane. And shit's insane, like state by state. Right. I currently live, in Indiana, and I consider myself an Indiana resident. This is my state. I've been here for 10 years. I've been coming here on and off since like 2007, but I've been living here permanently as of this month, 10 years. So yeah, and shit's getting weird between our mayor and our governor, who are both trying so hard to get Trump's attention. They are kissing his fucking shit-filled diaper ass so much right now. And they're just fucking up this state. And you have a lot of people in denial about that too. It's like this place is being run by two wannabe Trumps. It's these conservatives have like this war on the poor right now, and war on queer and trans people, and this is insane. It's like, why? That's not going to make things any better on you. It's not helping anything. And I don't understand. Hell, this video wasn't supposed to be as long as it was. I just wanted to rant for a minute. Because like I said, usually I'm just focused on like, oh God, I'm getting older. Like, oh my God, I'm in my 50s. What happened? Oh no. Usually I'm focused on that. But right now, besides seeing this fat ass cat in the background run around, what are you doing? But right now, I'm really distracted by the state of the world right now. Hell, the state of my state. Oh my God. But yeah, I'm going to end it there because I could rant for a while, and I already know as it is, just the little bit I've been bitching here in this video, there's going to be somebody in the comment section saying some stupid shit. But you know what? Fuck you. If you're still supporting all this, you're an idiot. If you're still letting yourself be gaslit, you're an idiot. And I can't wait until everything that's happening affects you too. And then you'll be crying about it on YouTube or TikTok. And then crying about how the fact that everybody's still mad at you because of all the bullshit you did, and no one will accept you back with open arms. Can't wait to hear that. Love it. But for the rest of us, please take care of yourselves. Look out for your friends and loved ones. You know, especially your trans friends, trans kids, especially right now, since conservatives got their sight set on trans people right now. I mean, black and brown people, they've made us targets for ages, and really queer and trans people have been targets as well too, but now it's like oh God. Just take care of each other. Be safe out there. You know, so remember, you're loved. You're important. You deserve good things. You don't deserve the bullshit and retort coming from these people. These fucking hateful people. You don't deserve that. And don't let these people get you down. Try not to lose hope. I know it's kind of a little difficult right now because shit is insane, but don't lose hope. You know. And of course, as always, you know what I say. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to record a new podcast episode soon. I have some plans. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, take care, guys, and maybe I'll do an actual vlog on my birthday or a live stream on my birthday or something. I don't know yet. I'll figure it out. Anyway, see you guys later. Bye.
The